Hi, it's been a minute. I am in the beautiful city of New York. We're in East Harlem.
East Harlem, yeah.
Yeah, East Harlem. Cheers. This is I'll let him introduce himself in a second, but this is Wes. I know him. I've known Wes probably for over 20 something years. I mean, not necessarily consecutive, but we were in the military together, met back then, and we were
What's
both
consecutive? What are you talking about?
Huh?
It has to be consecutive.
Well, I mean, it is consecutive, I guess. But you know what I mean? We've gone a long time without, seeing each other or talking to each other. But whenever you're in the military, it's a whole different thing. You meet people that you connect with because you're doing this thing that is so different than everybody in the world, really. But anyways, like I said, he's out here in New York and Les got a lot of wild stories and definitely an
They're not
interesting
wild.
character. But his journey, my journey, your journey, as you're watching, it's all about going and experiencing everything. That's definitely something that I hope nobody forgets. That it's about the journey. It's not necessarily the destination. It's not necessarily the path. It's the journey. And we flew up here to New York, and Wes has been showing me, Harlem and everything. And we're just getting our feet wet. We'll show some more videos later of some of the stuff we'll see today and tonight. But without further ado, you go ahead and introduce yourself, kind of give a little background of who you are.
Thank you for that. Yeah, you should know that. I know. I'm just so happy and excited to be here. Thank you. Um, it's very surreal to see a sign when you turn on the internet and it says that you're missing. I just got to start right there.
Yeah.
That's out of the bag. And there's only one other time in my life that I was missing before, and it was to walk to coffee. And so the two kind of the same story, but
But how long were you missing for? Well, I mean, not necessarily missing, but how long did people think you were missing for?
I was told 12 days.
Okay, so you're off the grid. Nobody can find you. You're a milk carton kid at this point.
Yeah.
And a
Right.
city of how many million you said?
I don't know. I think it's 8 million.
You can double check that,
Yeah,
the actual numbers. But I mean, New York City is kind of big, I heard.
it is.
I heard it's up there.
I go through Times Square every day. It would have been really crazy to see that on
See your
Times
face
Square.
on a billboard in Times Square.
I mean, when I asked you at the start of this, what would your superhero origin be? What would it be?
My origin would, I mean, I think I'm a product of where I grew up. I think it would have to be something Louisiana based. It really would. It would probably be something have to do with voodoo or some concoction like that that would have to change or make me or blah 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 lead me down a path. But being from where I'm from, I guess it would have to be something like voodoo because that's the most prevalent magic or just
Voodoo. Okay.
and I'm not saying I want voodoo. I'm just saying
No,
that's kind of what it is. And I
choice.
like now I live in Chicago, but I still keep that Louisiana thing with me.
Yeah.
It's always with me. It's part of who I am. So, and that's why I say that would probably be my origin story. But my luck, I would end up with like my superpower would be like stretching my toes 3 inches or something stupid, like it's completely fucking useless.
I don't know.
You'd
be fine all over the place.
Superpower was stretching your earlobe. That's it. But it was a true superpower. You could stretch your earlobes fucking 6 foot.
You would figure out how to fly. The very first thing you figure out how to do is how to fly.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I can say that.
I'm a white guy living in Harlem, going to engineer down Bible today at school of engineers. You know, it's drinking was like fucking everything slowly. Okay. Part of the reason why we're here is a sneaking suspicion I had of somebody's original job being a Foley artist.
A who?
Foley artist, which is making the sound effects.
Oh,
I think it's
so Jessica she does this shit with her knees. And all I could picture in my head is the guy that takes celery and twists it, and that's how her knee sounds. Like it
Really?
sounds like it's like she should have surgery immediately. And she thinks it's funny, because I'm like, oh my God, it's brutal. But yeah, that's the soul.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just to put a pin in it. It's very weird to be told that you're missing when you never knew.
Yeah, because at that point you don't know that you're missing. You're just so what
My sister quoted my schedule, which is so quaint. I love her to death, and I missed it. This is a painful part. I missed a call with my son, but and two calls with my son, and yeah, but everybody knew. We're like, hey, he's not here. He can talk to his kid. Oh, he's not going to talk to his kid. He's going to call me. Like it's just a troubleshooting tree.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You just never hit any of those benchmarks because that one thing that triggered all of this was your phone being lost or taken or whatnot.
the real and the school's aware. The odd part is the policy doesn't allow them to say anything. So my family contacted the school again. White guy in Harlem. This is my work story. Going to music school in New York City.
You're a rapper, right?
Yes.
Christmas rapper?
No, hardcore. I'm an artist.
Keeping it gangster out here. So.
No, this is like a living and being art. In what universe is a white guy living in Harlem going to predominant music school?
You should be pretty easy to find.
I mean, I just watched Superman and they're talking about his hypnobus. Every day I put my glasses on, I go, I think it's working.
So
I think it's working. That's why I said they're doing the crossover Spider-Man and Superman.
I still think that's crazy, but I mean, the red, blue, they both match up. But I think that's a weird.
Spider-Man always took pictures of himself.
Yeah.
Put the camera in some weird spot and he'd swing by and get a picture. He'd sell them to the newspaper.
Yeah.
And in the interviews,
but they were just all written down or whatnot.
they're putting them together.
Out of all the Supermans, who you think's your favorite? I mean, as an adult, as an adult Superman, I think Henry Cavill is probably my favorite, but I'm a big fan of his. But out of all of them, I think Tom Welling was probably really who I think Superman could have been.
Are there children Superman?
I
mean,
there are, but Tom Welling was in high school with
Smallville was very popular.
I was a big fan of that. Maybe not a fan of what old Chloe got into.
I got to jump in. Earlier. You said I could be a Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
How do I compare to Lex Luthor of Smallville?
I don't think. I think you would have been the Heath Ledger version of the Joker for Lex Luthor. I think you're dramatically enough different.
That's crazy. You don't.
But you would bring such a different spin roll to it, but it would be just so amazing to watch.
No one
thought.
Really appreciate that.
No, but no one thought Heath Ledger was going to knock that out the park like he did. But when he fucking did,
you remember the track?
Oh my God! I'm sorry.
You remember like when the announcement was made that there was people were thinking it was an odd casting.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I didn't, but for me, I wasn't that invested, so I really didn't think about it too much. I was like, maybe.
Had you seen any of his previous work?
Yeah, I was like 10 Things I Hate About You and the Night one.
Yeah, Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale.
That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, I mean, it was a rom-com.
It was
It was rom-com stuff, and I'm like, well, we'll see. And I'm thinking Jack Nicholson is the pinnacle.
Yes, his Joker, acceptable.
But my God, whenever Heath Ledger did what he did and changed it and made it his own, it just became something amazing. And now the Joker's passed him. You've had you know, Phoenix, what's his name of Joaquin Phoenix,
Yes.
do his role of Joker. He's able to do it in a different way because Heath Ledger did it in a different way. You know, he
Oh
kind
yeah.
of changed the game on I can give my spin to it.
I think all artists.
They
Yes, I
did
can't speak for
that.
all artists, but most of them are like looking for maybe something fresh.
Yeah, and
They
I
won't
get
do it
that,
unless they can do their own stuff.
and I guess that would be important at that point. I mean, but that's pretty much back to what we were talking about. Yeah, that's why I think that. I think just look how you would approach it, your knowledge in how you make a movie that would make it that much better. Because it's almost like if you know what somebody's wanting, you know how to give it to them better. You've been on that side of the
No,
of the camp,
that's I'm a not very naive or novice cinematographer.
right?
Uh, but yes, I think the number one thing that I learned was the conduit, the director, like it's responsible for the vision, whatever the director wants to see,
Right,
getting it on the frame, making it happen.
right.
That was a very attractive film.
Get people walking.
It's like crewing a jet. We could talk a little old shop real fast.
Right.
When you show up, you arrived, did roll call, and you knew what was broke, and you knew what you could fix or to fix.
Yeah.
It's like,
What
oh
you
man, I don't want to do another
breathe in.
utility reservoir. Come on,
There you go, grudge with somebody's jet.
Yeah. I remember passing buckets of fuel all the way down the final, and we you'd be the guy that didn't launch. Your jet didn't spare, and you go to grab your bucket. It's right full. Remember that?
For whenever they would delete it.
Yeah, yeah. It was just it's flight line jokes. Anyway, you have to be there.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Anyway, it's important to cover a couple things. I guess one thing I've been told is that if you lose your phone and all this technological stuff, have some people's numbers written down elsewhere. So if you can borrow a phone.
Yeah.
I'm I'm
Like
like
whenever I flew up here, I took a picture with my other phone of my phone with your thing in it in case my shit went dead.
listen, we're not even talking about the first phone I lost. We're talking about the second phone.
So, anyways, you
So this
that
thing
has
snowball. Yeah, you want to have numbers set aside. Um, and somebody has, I guess, it's a go bag or a panic attack. Or not to regrid. Because everybody kept saying I was off,
but you're not
well, missing,
I mean,
but off the grid.
if the grid's electronic, you damn sure are. You might as well have been, living in the wild. You're in the jungle.
That's called camp.
You're lost in the middle of Central Park.
I spent quite a lot of that time in Central Park walking around. It is, it is something I'm still struggling to figure out my whole life.
What part of it? It's just like there.
Every time I spoke to my sister and my mother today, it's like a normal talk till it's not. That phase was special. And I am definitely not trying to be. It's like it's like I use up all of my 15 minutes.
Wait, what?
You know how they say everybody gets 15 minutes of fame?
That was Andy Warhol, and he was hot.
Yeah, but there's like this.
But I forget who it was. It was a comedian who said that's an average. For me, it's years. For you, it's 8 seconds. For you, none. You none. You none. You get 6 minutes. You get 12 minutes. Maybe you've got a couple of hours in you, but
All right, I notice really different things than other people. And this one, I think most people will like, and this might be a good end of chapter one. I don't know.
I can't do it.
Within 20 minutes, me consciously at my terminal seeing it. Because it was being mentioned on Facebook. And the dean of students who said, "Hey, Wes, I got to talk to you." And I like, if you ain't ever been in a job where somebody comes to the door and says, "Hey, can you step in my office real quick?"
It never sounds like, hey, I need to give you something that's going to make you extremely happy.
I'm like, I just saw something really interesting. I think I know what this is about. It was so surreal. So, anyways, that was my.
Yeah. So, and for whatever reason, you know, and it's kind of one of those deals. Everybody's doing their own thing, living their own lives. I didn't find out you were missing until you were found. No fucking idea.
Is that great?
You know, and because it was only until you made a post about it, because nobody else in my somebody posts on your page.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
see
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It was only until you had actually posted something, then it showed up in my news feed.
I think we're at a point where there's too many options. If you go on Facebook, or not to single them out, but any of the other ones, there you have to go into 30 layers of security and choices, font size, and preference. Like, I mean, even now, you look, you're sourcing our data. Yeah, taking this pretty much the sonic space. Yeah, what's it like to be? My turn.
Good.
What's it like to be in New York?
Oh my God, dude. I feel like a tourist. I mean, I know I am, but I've been all over the world just like you have with the military and everything. You see a lot of cool shit. New York has made me geek out. And I haven't even been anywhere yet. You know, we just
I
in
know.
a small area of Harlem. But you know, we got like the video of the paper airplane getting a bunch
Oh,
of
yeah, that was unique.
yeah, I mean, just out of nowhere, they're on the top of this building and they've got kids made a ton of airplanes, maybe 20, 30, 40. I don't know how many exactly. They were
a good
throwing
bit.
them off. It was a good bit, not overdone. It's not like they dropped 6,000 and it stopped traffic. It was just enough to be fun, cute, and cool.
No, but that's something.
You know, and we've got that on video, and I'll show it. I'll show it here. Yeah. So what Wes is showing me, I'm going to put up in the corner right here so you can see what we're seeing.
Yeah, that's nice.
And
then the birds came in. You remember?
Yeah. Then they have the Attack of the Birds. Alfred Hitchcock comes sweeping in. And I'm thinking they're going to fuck these planes up. Didn't happen, but that would have been dope if they did. That'd have been like the F-15s coming in with carpet bombing shit. But we got ants out here.
So what are we gonna do tonight?
I'm a nerd at the end of the day. I know who I am. I accept that. I know how I look versus who I am is drastically different.
I didn't think you were going that.
Well, I mean, I really want to see Chinatown.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the stuff in New York it's way too big. I'd like to see everything, obviously, but I think next time I'll come, I'll bring Jess with me. That way we can see everything. Really experience. I want to get a taste of it, but you know, we only got a limited time while I'm here. But Chinatown and maybe Central Park. I don't know if that's really what we'll do, but I'll I'll be recording some videos when we go do that. And at the end of the episode, I'm gonna give you the bonus material. So you'll have a little bit of bonus. So stick around after the show for the bonus material. Or actually, fuck that. I'm gonna air a bonus material episode. It'll be episode blah 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 point five.
We got a line.
First, it doesn't record that well, and I'm not good at it yet. You know, and I would rather record it to know for sure that I snagged it than go live and be like, I just fucked that up, and that was really cool. If I'd have just recorded it, I'd have it to be able to show.
Depending on what we get up to tonight, there's this thing that is like very touristy, where there's a spinning disc with a little circle light, and it goes at 360 around you. It's really feeling like intense. It's just this thing, Times Square, really.
Things would jump up and like it's
Yeah,
360, like high show speed. And
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
I'm sad for that right now. Look, I'm on my journey of weight loss.
You gonna
And
do
get back-
another naked and afraid?
No, I've turned it down.
What?
Yeah, I've turned it down about 4 times so far. The
Which part? Naked part or the afraid part?
I ain't never been afraid, but of being naked. Anyways, um, I've turned it down. I mean, what we got paid for doing the show, and I get that a lot of fans say, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing it for that." That's because y'all ain't did that shit. It's religious. Huh? It's religious. No, bruh, it's a work for hire. So you don't get paid shit. I could have made more money at my regular job. And you got to figure, I'm out there for 3 weeks. I was out there for 2 because they had to get a replacement, which was, the other guy on the other team. He were a 4-person episode.
Are you encouraged? You were?
Yeah.
Are you encouraged to hunt?
You're not. I was already doing shit, so they didn't have to encourage me. So
No.
whenever I got interviewed for it, the first thing I told them, I was like, they were like, well, what, how you can bring one item with you or whatever, and that's your one item. So whenever they asked me what my one item would be, it was supposed to be a car door. I wanted to bring a car door out there with me. A car door. Yeah. Yeah, like a vehicle door. In case it got
Didn't you?
in case it got hot, I could roll down the windows.
Am I supposed to not break in this?
That's crazy.
Okay.
This is exactly what I told the
That's how you that's you audition with that, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and what they told me before I went
Yeah.
to the audition is be very serious and don't do this. This the person interviewing is a very serious person. I can't help myself from retarded. Okay? It's who I am, and I don't mean that in a bad way for anybody with anything like that. It's just I'm not PC, so fuck.
No,
Anyways,
I think we're open though.
yes, absolutely. If you know me by any stretch of imagination, you know that I don't mean pretty much anything in a bad way. And if I do mean it in a bad way, you definitely know it's coming from a bad place in my heart. It's very evident.
I just need to break in here for 1 second. My dad, love you. He had a T-shirt move, and one of my best friends a T-shirt move with me. It says I was missing. No fucking was. So I've had a T-shirt. So if you've ever,
Bruh, you have got to
have you ever seen Ferris
I'll put
Bueller
it on the
Have
wall.
you seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yeah.
This is like
Oh
just
my
just
God.
just not to oversimplify it. It's like the school 9 times.
What I don't get is why they didn't just tell
And I
you
was
that.
dancing down. I was actually I was in. I would walk with parades, right?
You have got to get me that T-shirt. Talk to your dad. I don't know how many they made. Please, please, please. I want to have it, and I'm gonna hang it on the wall in the back because I've got a couple of keepsakes that I hang on the wall.
What if I sold it and donated it all to something?
Yeah, we'll plug it. Get me one. I'll plug it, and we could put on there some kind of really deep message. Like those who will wander are not always lost.
Oh my God, that's pretty good. I missed a showing because of this fiasco. I missed a showing of The Doors in 70mm at the Paris Theater in New York.
That's like super artsy.
Oh yeah, I'm at an art school. This focused on sound.
So is this like Juilliard kind of thing?
Yes, but for sound.
Well, I mean, you kind of need sound for that. I guess it all goes hand in hand.
It's funny. Why did you say that's? Because the only one I've heard.
2 Chainz were there.
What?
Tupac went to Juilliard, I
Did he?
believe. Yeah. Tupac was a lot smarter than people give credit for.
You know,
Fantastic actor.
Rivers Cuomo, the lead singer of Weezer, went to Harvard.
Really?
I think he dropped out like 2 weeks before.
I jammed their Buddy Holly song. That's his song.
Nice.
I like, I'm eclectic. My favorite music to listen to is actually, Houston rap. My
Houston.
Oh yeah.
What about Three Sips?
Yeah, okay.
Did I say that? Was I extra?
But my favorites are like Zero, Paul Wall, and
Yeah.
but I come from that area where I actually had great takes at DJ Screw.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't know.
So DJ Screw used to have braid tapes. It was Maxwell tapes that he would,
Oh, right.
right.
Okay.
And you would have to go to his door to get them.
Like a tape mix.
Yes.
Okay.
But he was chopping and screwing shit, and you would have to go to his door to get them. Now, I didn't get lucky enough to go and get one in person, but I got one from someone that they got it from someone because people would steal screw tapes like crazy. That was a real thing. Like, if you left the screw tape there,
You're saying that because
somebody
the
was going to
pencil?
steal it.
You saying that because the pencil here? It's spinning? That pencil there?
No, it was chop and screw. So they would take the
I'm
music
ignorant to this. That's
and
why.
slow it down and
Oh,
down,
right.
down.
Okay.
Like
Bad
that.
boys.
Y'all can remix that shit.
Bad boys are back.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the type of music I listen to, but that wasn't the only thing I listened to. I like rock. I like a lot of old rock. I'm starting to like, some country. I like some old, George Strait shits, a couple of Willie Nelson songs or whatever. But I'm across the board, Weezer and
Nice. Eclectic sound. I don't think you could be in the service and not have a wide range of.
because you're exposed to so much.
Did you go to Saudi?
No, I never went.
Where did you
never went to
deploy?
Turkey.
Okay. Similar thing in Turkey. Go out to say you're doing base 12 hours a day, and you can't control the radio 12 hours a day. So after your hour, whatever it is, the next guy only lets pencil.
Right.
Now you're there for 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, a year, whatever it is. Inside of fucking like song music.
Well,
It's just
you're
gonna go crazy.
We kind of that, whenever I was at Eglin, one of my buddies, we were in tool shop and we would alternate playing music. And my homeboy Perez, he was from Focus Frisbee. Kind of team Perez, see this. I hadn't seen him in forever. But anyways, he would put on fucking Tejano music. So it's messy, but it's like, and he
Really?
man,
He dance too?
yeah. Well, I mean, not really, but I think he just put it on to the I fucking hate.
Oh, right.
That is motherfucker.
That is some psychological warfare.
Yeah, but I mean, in the military, and I think I wish, I wish more people could get to experience that you're around so many different walks of life, different colors, different creeds, different everything, because you're all in the military.
1% serves.
Yes.
Only 1%.
But I mean, that's
all stats are made up.
No, that 5/4 of people have problems with fractures. Are you sure? 5/4 of people have problems with fractures.
I guess I'm in.
And that's
one of those.
What I told you earlier that 145% of people exaggerated.
Yeah, that's not done.
But what I'm saying is whenever you're in the military, you're around everything. So all that bleeds into you. So it really, whenever you're a military member, it makes it really hard to hate all these different things because you were around so much different shit. It made you a better, more well-rounded. And then you travel. You've seen what the other side of the world really looks like. People have no idea how good they got it. To be able to bitch and moan about freedoms that they don't see what the other countries really act like. You have to clue of how that really functions because you haven't been there. But we're lucky enough to have at least been there, maybe not experiencing the full breath that countrymen have. But we've got a glimpse of it, so we get a better understanding.
Just in this short time you've been here, have you walked past all this person?
Yeah,
it's a very sobering thing. Now I'll take it even further, and not for shots out. It's part of what you just now said.
so you're a sound guy, right?
Yes,
Pull your mic.
it's just difficult. In my travels, I walk past children. To parent at the same time. It's like we're playing little. Sorry, say that. It's like exploring sky.
I think once you become a parent, your first thing is always when you see a child, it's almost like you self reflect. What if that was me? How would I feel? You put yourself in that shoe because you.
Is it any easier because you have children? I know I just kind of alluded to that, but
What do you mean?
do you remember before you were an adult, sorry, a father, seeing something like that? The age difference between when we're children ourselves and then we make the mental leap.
I don't think I ever thought about it like that.
I think I was a father at 20. I presume.
Yeah. So you were the father of slaves.
Yeah.
That's whenever Avery, and that's yeah, like Avery, about that and Texas later. But I don't remember even it being a thought because I didn't have a final reference. Maybe I didn't, I didn't worry about what that loss would feel like or what that letdown to that child would do or be or feel. So it's hard to put yourself in some shoes, but you can't really try to reference anything like that. Now, how do you know something tastes like shit unless you've actually ever had something taste really good? Why are we talking about shit? We're talking about chocolate. Some chocolate tastes like shit. There's the same going. But man, I think like for me, you know how people are always ask you, what's your biggest fear? The longest time, you automatically in your brain you go spiders, snakes, blah blah blah. You know, people that's where you go to. My biggest fear, what I've come to realize, and maybe it's because I've had bad dreams about it. Like my little girl Calvary, wild at zero fucking fear,
Free spirit, huh?
bruh. Next
Wow.
level. Like how old again? She's 3, and she is wild. She's super fun, but she's wild. Got no pullback. You know, no fear of anything, and that's scary.
Daddy's alligator wrestling.
Yeah, but maybe that's what ruined her. You know, maybe that blood uh in there has ruined her. But so
Now,
my the dreams that I'm talking about though, that their bar higher from the start. Yeah, right. Um, the dreams I've had would be like her falling on the water and I couldn't get to her or find her under the water, or her being in a room and fall out of the window and I wasn't fast enough to catch her. That's what I worry about, not being
like anxiety, anxious about not being, yeah.
not being able to protect what I want to protect. That's my biggest fear is not being quick enough, fast enough, and being there in time to protect her. And I know, you know, maybe Wayne didn't, but it's different because I've had 2 sons and I thought differently. It's not. I didn't have a worry for them because
You gotta notice
they were my boys. They're
different
motherfucking soldiers.
between when
And she's crazy. Really, it's surprising. And my both of my boys, Avery and Ash, they're different people. That's where I'm getting them nuts. Uh, but they're different people, but they're both highly intelligent. Avery is probably one of the funniest. They're gonna like here. Maybe not. It really doesn't matter what I'm. As I guess probably because I'm not saying it for them, I'm just saying it about them, and they already know how to work. But and Ash is super intelligent. Does you know a bunch of stuff, mental health awareness, state, you know, big speeches because you know, we battled the bipolar disorder in our family, and we grown from all that. But both of those boys, different. They were built different.
can we do a little tangent right here?
Sure.
What if man power with science that's to manipulate polar popularity of dying the God?
I mean,
Planet Earth.
at this point, I don't know if it's not possible already.
Nope.
Because with their technology we got, like a CERN and all that, if you could do that, if you could create a God particle, you mean to tell me they just accidentally can't tell me you can't accidentally fucking throw off the tilt?
Immediate news break.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. This morning,
Flat across
there's
the
an
bottom of the screen.
article, and this is mainstream Google, but it's for me, so maybe it's not for everybody. I don't know. But it said that Stern noticed a ghost, a dark article, moving things around in its own way.
What do you mean?
It's an article. Ghost,
The
ghost,
sort of it.
just today.
So you got God, ghosts, you got goblins and ghouls and shit in there.
No. It just happened today at CERN, where because they've been smashing these private together for so long, that they have algorithms to predict this kind of path. They're looking for the fucking exposed on there. Talk about it and then they go, what? Anyway, they just noticed that there's something in there moving stuff around in a new way that they can't explain. You're calling it the ghost thing.
We're gonna end up fucking turning this planet into blood. I mean, and that was one of the big worries originally, if I remember right, whenever CERN did this, that you could accidentally like, oh, we were smashing particles at fucking damn near light speed, and you didn't know it was gonna happen. Why would that be a good idea?
Did you see Oppenheimer?
No, I haven't seen it yet. What? Avery's told me I need to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, you do for a number of reasons, but anyway, I'll come back to it.
So the ghost.
Yeah, the ghost. No, yeah, I just felt that was really interesting. And I thought,
Oh yeah, I like shit like that. I mean, I'm not a tinfoil hat, but I'm not far away. I might be aluminum at this point, you know. But I like. I'm a big fan of Wi-Fi.
yeah.
To AJ Jensen, just a big fan. And then you know, I like Rogan whenever he talks about the molecule. And he's got great guests and stuff, but I like the wild, the crazier stuff. And it's not, and I've said this to you whenever we were having some of the conversations earlier. I don't mind it's not being a true story. I like to hear the story, you know, with the Wi-Files, who breaks it down and then gives you the, but it and breaks it down like, okay, this is why it's not real. This is where it actually came from. But I still like the story. It just takes away from that.
I feel like there's been an uptick in true story. I'm a fan personally of. I see a movie, of course.
Maybe it's maybe it's a culture of us tired of anything. You know,
Limit the not endless. We're still
highly fucking doubt it. Hey, highly doubt it. The man behind the curtain will not allow it.
great.
Well, yeah. I mean, at one point, you know, one of my earlier Facebook from Instagram, so that got shut down for me saying some wild shit.
Really?
I don't even remember what I said.
I haven't been shut down. I've had with copyright, like maybe there was a song or something, so they just put the red get Ghostbusters sign on it.
Yeah, you got to remove it, or we're gonna text it down.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I've only ever had it happen once or twice.
Oh no, my shit did. I didn't even get a warning. They said you have fucked up. You know, pretty much. I mean, that's not the words they use, but pretty much. There ain't pigeons, you know.
I did the round pig. They're lovely.
What do you have against pigeons? They've got bleeding shit on you. Well, I mean, they're dirty birds. Like that's
Wait, is that the bar? That's weird. They ain't never had a girl that had fleas.
Girl that had fleas.
Okay.
They might have.
No, they're dogs and cats. Come on.
The one, okay, like this is a side story, but the one time I ever got trapped in my, actually happened. So,
Really?
yes. So, but here's the fucked up thing: I didn't earn this. And it's
Oh,
really
those
important.
stories.
Yes.
Oh, somebody else's.
Okay, look, see,
No.
this is why it's so hard. So I got them from a fucking porta potty in Morgan City while we were working on a pipeline welding job. I was a welder helper. And one of the welders,
Welding helper?
yeah, you basically hand
It already sounds suspect.
Yes.
Sus.
I basically hand
Welder.
rods. I hand rods to the welder. He does the work,
Okay.
and he screams at me for whatever. You know, welders just bitching about everything. If you're a welder out there, you already know that you're bitching on about everything. And if you don't like it, you'll tell them, I'll load my fucking
Can you do underwater wells?
and I know,
Well,
yeah,
you pass a rod the water.
yeah,
To the, well,
yeah.
off from the mark there.
No, you could do that. Oh,
No, I probably got you. It's probably
but
sailing.
I,
Sailing.
I have no,
Anything nauticals.
yeah, I have no knowledge about that at all. Before I'm still bullshit and acting like that, no, I have zero knowledge about underwater welding. I know it's possible. I know that they do it. It's like we're on the coast in Louisiana and Cameron. And I know they did it all the time, but how they do it, you know.
It's a
But anyway, so back to my friend.
yeah, go ahead.
Anyways, so
Good
they,
segment.
right, fucking welder is talking about how far these crabs, you know, oh, they can jump 8 feet, blah, blah, blah. And I'm 18 years old. Fucking, you know, I'm just listening. That's weird. A couple days later, we're sharing a porta potty. We go out on a board to the morgue, and then the porta potty, that's what everybody has to use the porta potty in the middle of the morgue.
I think everyone knows where this is going.
Yeah. So 2 days later, I'm sitting there
Jumped out.
taking a joke. Excuse me. I'm taking a hit, and I look down, and I'm like, "What's that?" I look through right there, and there's this little white thing, and I swear like two little fucking fingernails, and its little legs are doing like this. It's like, oh, fucking, you know, I shaved my shit. I look like a baby holding out. That motherfucker, I shaved that bitch bald as hell gone. And then I had to tell my girlfriend at the time, hey, I got crammed. She didn't believe me, obviously. That sounds
Well, it's
like
good that you told her. That's
well, in fairness, she didn't have any hair anyway. So it really makes it didn't have a lot of purchase there towards her to grab on to. Maybe her
just
saving
quite
grace.
colorful.
Right. So anyway, nobody wants hair in their food. So
Yeah, neither here nor there.
yeah. So we ended up going knocking on doors because someone else had the same thing, and they were in an argument as well. It was their significant other about it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to talk about it when I opened it. I got shit going on. What's about it? So yeah. So
Right.
it breaks down, and I didn't have it.
Good. I got him from the foot side. And that I'm glad. I'm glad with this.
I think it's an important step in our relationship with these.
Yes. I,
I mean, I'm gonna tempted to edit that whole part out, but I need
Yeah,
people
it was
out
pretty
there to
interesting.
understand that, believe it or not, I have faults also. I know it's hard to believe.
I'm always trying to do better. I always fucking up, and that makes me always want to do better.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of want to, I guess. Like, I mean, not that everybody does it, but I mean, I think that should be the goal, to be better than you were yesterday.
Is there a way further than my two t-shirts? I'm not interested. I want to like, how do we get homeless people on social media? Yeah. Let's get the
So
homeless on social. And then
they almost had it. They almost had it, but I think the topless women, they had this portals. Wait, listen, hear me out. They had this
it
portal.
can never fall to that. That can never be the blame. It's shit that they always good shit from what I think they're curing breast cancer.
Yeah, I've heard of, it's a nipple at a time. Um, anyway, they had this portal,
Oh,
and
no.
as you walk by, it was taking recordings, and you could basically talk to people in Dublin or wherever
Okay.
they were. But someone flashed it and kind of ruined it for everybody. But if they had those portals all over, basically anybody could walk up, say what they had to say. I think there's, then you're on social media. Then you have stars. You have, hey, bro, you've been around. You've seen true crazy on these streets in New York. Like true crazy.
Let me just reiterate. I've been listening. White guys are coming predominant happening. He's like part of New York.
You were the literally the green M&M in the pack of red M&Ms. How could they not find?
I have to admit, wore the shirt till it's before. with a shirt. I have very few pieces of clothes. So I like to and have that shirt word in the school next year.
Okay, so
Imagine being at
what
work.
was your first fucking thought when you saw it? Like very first thought.
Holy fucking shit. What's that? Holy fucking shit. I almost threw up. And I didn't know. I thought I was being punked because that's some shit that would happen at work when you get rickrolled or something.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't go on for 12 days, of course. But
Who is posted the
my dad said he had to call Morse.
and I guess that's gotta make you feel that's gotta make you feel bad because
Still-
can you imagine you trying to
Yeah,
call
gotta
a
make
board
you back.
for your son?
Well,
They're not
and
and they say they're not
he lost
work.
he lost a child already, my brother.
Right.
That's part of the but it just that was grief that I had dealt with for 10 years.
Yeah.
That it come up that man. And it's, yeah. So now it's like, now that you're not missing. Imagine. Wake up in the morning, you're not missing. Find out the overall things you're missing. And at the end of the day, talk to your dad or your mom. Just after no one. That's your beginning and end of the same day.
It almost seems almost anticlimactic. You know, like
I'm a loop within myself.
where is the where is the story that pulls you in? Because you technically weren't missing. You were missing something.
So everybody else is missing competency.
Right. But and I,
So I'm putting that
because you didn't have access to what?
email.
The internet. Right? I mean
The internet.
internet in
I'm
itself.
going to get into
But-
everybody do this. This is the West test. Take your phone, put it in the freezer. My mom accidentally, I love your mom. Put her phone in the fridge at the freezer at some point. It's an only thing in it. Do this 24 hours. Phone in the freezer, 24 hours. And at work, you can't get into Google email because you don't have to $2 to store it through. And they reference the phone number or your Ymail that they want.
And that just have to confirm they're like
It's a catch 22. Everything that needed me to access my phone or an email.
which you didn't have. And then you have to reset stuff. And to reset stuff,
when
they
you
go
go-
to your other email, which you hardly use.
You go
Probably.
very, very deep in it. They give you a phone number that you can call.
I didn't even know that they had a.
There's when you really, really, really like persevere into the web, into certain pages, you can find a public like number to call. But then it's not really patient anymore. Everybody's like, well, you shouldn't
just walk up to
should
some
just ask
random
them
and be
to
like, hey,
use your phone. I'm like,
look, I'm a missing
I'm
person.
living in New York City, fuckers. Sorry, I'm a
No, go ahead.
you don't just walk up to somebody and try to be.
Because you sounds like you're about to jack their phone.
Yeah. It's now we did say we touched on mental health, so I would say that there is a thing that happens that at least happened to me when I was on the phone for a certain amount of time. That you notice, pardon me, everything else around you're normally not seeing.
When your head's on them.
So I can see everybody else's step. It's weird and yeah, it's very, very it's different, but it's quite different.
I mean, it's just something as simple as when you go to look at your phone to see what time it is. It's almost like you automatically scroll for something.
Yeah.
And then it turns into a couple of minutes.
That's been some of my favorite part. I'm glad you mentioned it. Is I would walk up to people, say, excuse me, sir, makeup please. I mean, it's the time in it. And
People will have a watch on and they'll look at their phone for time.
true, I've been guilty of it.
Do you know, and this is something, back in the day for those young guys trying to see if a girl is checking them out. This is the mental thing. If you're somewhere and you think a girl might be looking at you, look at your watch or look at your phone and then look at them. If they check their phone or their watch, they're paying attention.
It's like chess.
It's a psychological
It's like a
thing.
dating chess thing.
So I know what time it is. And I look at my watch.
I know what time it is too.
Wait, I look at my watch. You psychologically now need to know what time it is. And it's not 100%. And I'm not saying you'll get any play out of it because maybe they're looking at you because you're doing something crazy.
Add that to the 24-hour test, freezer test that we can do. Is that when people look at you, see how long it takes them to look at their watch. That's a real fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much shit. I think honestly, people have. Well, I mean, you have got that down pat. You've got the missing guy down pat. The only thing you didn't do is end up in a barrel or something. It could have happened.
It wouldn't be weird for me to feel that.
I mean, you're in New York City. Stranger things have probably happened.
Well, there's been a few odd things happening recently.
Uh, like,
I don't know.
like in the world, or
No, there was a guy that tragically
people was fucking women all over the planet. And I don't think it was somebody. There's a 14 up man or something, one up.
what up bands. If there isn't one, we should do it.
It's like the most popular Japanese anime. It's like a pirate ship.
One Punch Man. One Piece.
One Piece. So One Piece, I got
That's a really weird way to get there.
which is here's what's crazy. God showed me this video and he's talking about basically the duality. And he's talking about basically what it boils down to is me and you are at odds. Okay, you're a country, I'm a country. I
don't
as
really
this
like that.
country
Okay, good.
think I'm the good guy. You as your country think you're the good guy. We both think the other guy's the bad guy.
This is antagonist and protagonist.
But whenever they say, what is justice? He says, justice is only the perception of the winner.
My favorite. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was, aiming at. But I mean, it was just something super interesting that you get out of comic books, and this goes back to all these countries that are revolting, and the flag from One Piece, that pirate ship flag, it's basically their flag saying all this because
Remember,
that's the
there's
premise of the whole show.
it's like the most episodes ever
Yes,
of
yeah,
animation.
yeah. So,
Animation.
and those countries have now banned that flag. But all they're wanting is true freedom, which they don't have. And I think that's something in America people forget because they may not have been out of their city. Somebody that lives in New York City may never leave New York City because it's got so much and it's got everything they need. People around the globe look at America and be like, why don't they travel more? We've got a lot of shit here.
I don't. We're speaking for the whole world and Americans only.
Well, I think a lot of the world that travels, they see Americans as not worldly, but we've got a lot of shit here.
Do you remember going out and it'd be like, go to hit the town and be like a pack of 30 dudes with baseball caps and packs of cigarettes, go clubbing.
Yes.
And there'd be like two dudes go the other direction.
I was usually the two dudes.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But I was in a
I couldn't ever. I got out of that scene real fast because I was like, damn, what if I reach target and reach. I mean, sometimes it was all right for food.
Yeah, but I mean,
Village.
again, people do that because they want to feel safer, I think. But which it's a double-edged sword. You're becoming a target by being a less attackable target. Does it really work or whatever? I always chose to do my own thing and kind of venture off, but I was always an adventurer, At 16, moved out, lived with my brother, and hell, at 18, I was selling Kirby vacuums in Colorado. Got a wild air and said, oh, this is a good idea. Fucking went and did that. Kirby, the vacuum. Not the character. knocking door to door.
You still pulled off the door-to-door vacuum salesman life in this last lifetime?
Yeah, I can sell ice to an Eskimo.
Did you hear about this? There's a lot more ice in Antarctica than
I don't believe anything about Antarctica. Well, just
no, 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 no,
gets
no, sure, 10 has 5. It's tested. It's
who is reporting that?
whoever the peers on.
Uh, and you really trust these peers?
They're a peer. I trust them.
Fucking, what is it?
That, you're gonna have to edit that out. You can't. They won't know.
What?
You can't say you
But yeah, you can't go and look at Antarctica. So you're
Did you hear about
you're
that
relying
dude that
on
just
people's
there was a kid that just landed there. He did 11. He was trying to be the first person to land on all continents, like that, and left the southern tip of South America in a
How did that work out when he landed? Because I mean,
they arrested him.
am I
They
okay? Yeah, 'cause
detained.
am I wrong in assuming that every country they have this huge treaty that basically says, okay,
It's the first time in our known history
we can't go there because it's not safe.
agreed.
Yeah, you mean to tell me I can go trek around the fucking Amazon with anacondas? Have you seen the movie Anaconda?
Yeah, and they're doing a new one.
What?
Yeah, let's do a new one. I gotta see it. It looks really good.
Oh, look, Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube. That's gonna be hard to beat.
No, but it's a multiverse kind of plot. No, I'm joking. That was completely don't.
Into the Spider Verse.
Yeah, yeah, Into the Spider-Verse for the Anaconda stuff.
Into the Anaconda verse.
I think my face is gonna be on right on the thumbs up.
No, so this is actually wider than it is right here. So it actually goes all across the tape. So it's fine. But
Oh yeah, shouldn't just.
no, well, hey, shit, you're a sound guy. You should be telling me what the bits.
Really moonlighting the sound night. So you never asked me the question. Let's ask the question. But when I still
Oh well, Wes, if you were a comic book name, what would
some
your
white guy in Harlem going to the music schools. You guys think Into the Spider-Verse? But I'm the only one where Peter Parker is Miles Morales.
what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm Miles Morales.
You're Miles Morales and Peter Parker?
No. See, that was like an AI stuff. If AI is monitoring us, you got to give them a little wiggle. I'm in 616 universe, so
616 is your prime, right?
then it gets sent.
Prime gets sacrificed? What happens to everybody on Prime?
I don't know, because they forgot. Remember the first dog under the Scotty Spider? I just listen. Yeah, I'm a version of Spider-Man.
Just powerless. And phoneless.
Well, I'm hacking. Part of my story is
So you're a hacker who needed to call the 800 number to get into his phone. I think you superpowers are so far.
yeah. Did you see that movie?
Yes, with Terry Crews. Yeah, I love it. You think that's where we're headed?
No, I actually had to finish that thing.
Oh yeah, I love it.
That is quite an interesting take.
Well, I mean, it's almost like you wonder, with everything going on and with the expansion of technology, are we going to end up like Wally? I mean, fat people on a fucking thing, like screams in their face, and they're drinking a big Coke, and
I'm only going to hear about
oblivious.
I'm only going to hear this one. So I was where's Waldo? In the center of New York City.
Was it instead of a red and white, you were in a blue and white?
One of my thinkings was Waldo. No loss. How do you get that? Or well, glasses and probably what timing publishing. Wardrobe choice.
Oh God, you're a victim of circumstance.
Uh, Well,
Yeah, I guess so.
do you know how many times I just had to can't let it go? It's fine. I would my day began and ended without me being missing in my own life, in my own life. But it is until you've been told that. I'm telling you, this story will help someone out there. And if it helps one person, it'll be another. But never, it's a different thing when somebody says, "What's wrong?" You know, it's
It's gotta hit weird
it is.
because in your mind you're like, I'm right here, and in their mind you're dead in the gutter.
Yeah,
You're dead in the gutter. So, and whenever you see all these crazy stories on TV, they always say the not knowing is the worst part.
we haven't said dead. We said it twice.
I'm just saying, but it's really, I mean, maybe not per se, but you got robbed, you got shanked, you got whatever. And speaking of which, whenever I came here, I text you and I'm like, do I need to bring a shank? Because I see all
That was funny. A little prejudice on your part.
well, I mean, it's who I am.
Know thyself, right?
Well, yeah. But going back to your Where's Waldo more, whenever, so after that, okay, you're missing person. Like a legit, they've got posters up around town. People are putting t-shirt. Your actual siblings are fucking worried. Well, every person, everyone that actually knows you and are trying to keep in tabs of his rights. But maybe Budweiser. Look, I'll take whatever y'all got. $16.
I've known a few people that works for different distributors.
Yeah,
Specifically, I think Budweiser was like one we took that a 30 pack. Like
I'd take that. Fuck, I'd take a 12 pack. You know,
I'll take a single.
yeah. I mean, it's like give me a 22. I'm good. Ice that bitch down. I'm cold blooded. Now,
Man.
now moving fast, your lost faith. Now, and this is kind of an interesting thing, because so like we said at the beginning, it's been a long time since me and you came and seen each other and everything. And this is
20 years.
Yeah, it's been 20 years since we've seen each other. It's a happenstance thing. You talked to me on Thursday. Friday, I was on 20.
Yeah.
Like that.
And shout out, there's so many people that are banding together. They were to come search for me. I can't name everybody, but this was just the culmination of
Oh, yeah. And
that moment of realizing it. And you and I have been talking for a long time about doing the podcast together.
yeah,
And my wish was to do it,
all the stuff that you were involved in.
my wish for it to be in person. So
Yeah.
that's what really inspired this. I wanted to hear that. So many people are going to come here to search for me, which have steps. I still haven't, it still hasn't settled fully with me. It's 48, 72 hours.
I think it's almost too big. It's hard to grasp because you're not on their side seeing it.
It's a different thing, yes. But
It's got to be a little bit humbling too.
it is different.
It's kind of like whenever you're in depression, I need to wonder if anybody's going to miss this, and you're alive to see the people.
Yeah, that's pretty, I guess that's well said. I always know everybody, I know I have lots of love and support.
And it is important to thank the people that were making that effort, that gave a shit enough. Because I mean, in all honesty, I would not have come close.
Yeah. No, that's first one here, but last one that would normally came.
No, but at the end of the day, luckily everything worked out, and that's not everybody's circumstance. That's not all the time. This is one of the times that you have the happy.
I do really wish, I really do wonder how it's 50-50.
As far as
2 weeks ago, my Instead,
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By not giving it as
but they were just following the legal policy. Right. Well, I just don't know. I don't know. Okay, well, can we follow this policy and just go tell him because then was looking for him?
that's one thing that threw
And
me
that
off
was
is why they
okay.
didn't alert
Okay.
you.
Yeah, I
You
was
know,
not in the mix, and that is
people are actively searching for you. You might want to figure this out. We didn't give them any information, but here, so you know,
and I say right away, I know their job is not to kind of message us. But how
that's an
often
interesting
I've
way
been
to
there
search for it.
4 fucking months. 4 months.
You can't tell me they're inundated with, hey, my son's missing. Can you tell me if he's alive?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was
I know that that isn't the whole blame, but I'm saying that is a huge thing. That was 2 weeks ago. That was ended things.
yeah. And maybe you would have gotten the fucking help you needed earlier to be able to
Well,
let
I
people
mean,
know.
this is how silly it is. I have a gift card, but the store is not in New York.
Okay.
I can't say who it is, but okay. It's like some ways are ways that supposed to make things easier. They just make
So you basically were set up to fail as soon as you lose that phone because of how you structure your life.
I'm not deflecting. It's not like all.
No. I get that. But what I'm saying is think
It's
about it for
all
a second.
life I've discovered modern day at a certain level of life. Assets. Substance. You have a roof over your head. A lot of my heroes publicly stated,
Yes. That
and
we talked about
I
that
don't
earlier
really
too.
say heroes
Like, I mean, it's not necessarily a hero, but somebody like, and it's an actor that I really enjoy. Everything he's pretty much done, like Woody Harrelson, does not fucking carry.
you're punking me right
Uh,
now. Just a second. We speak the same language. Woody did a live movie where it was shown around the world. It's important for like we were shown around the world simultaneously in sync. Right? It was an event that encompassed his night out, which he was reenacting, and it was a real night out 8 days prior. And in London, where the news broke, some kind of scuttlebutt. Right. It's part of this. And yeah, I went to the theater. Yeah, it's like a crazy experience. We watching Green Hill or something.
and this is live.
And the camera work was live, all the background was live, all the co-stars were live.
Across the world, a live footage feed.
Yeah, of a long form narrative. And then he did a Q&A after. But it was a surreal experience.
And Woody is, from everything I've seen in the interviews I've seen, he is unapologetic in the way he thinks. He doesn't care necessarily if he's looked at a certain way for thinking the way he is. And he understands that you may think differently, but this is where he stands and this is where he stands.
Yeah,
You know?
it's really interesting for us to be able to feel like we know certain layers of say celebrities, their viewpoints now. I need to engage with them in such a way. Like I was off socials and got in trouble, and you can be on a social for celebrities. Just tell them,
Oh yeah. You can they
fan.
have a chance at
Yeah.
actually saying the word that you say.
Yeah.
Which is weird because like Ryan Reynolds will do it a lot. He'll respond back to some random person. They'll be talking
Right.
shit, Ryan Reynolds will respond back. And even if the guy that was saying
Name
something
dropping.
crazy about Ryan Reynolds, whenever Ryan Reynolds responds to him with something even crazier back, that guy instantly just got converted to a fan. Instantly. You know?
That's hilarious.
I mean, it's nuts, but I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of these people, be it Woody or Ryan or whoever, they're still regular people. they've achieved their success, but they're still regular people at their core. I'm not saying their circumstances are regular.
You want to know what the greatest story never told was? Well, just my opinion. The greatest story never told. It's about the rules to football. True story about the rules to football and how it was coming up. Either you use your hands and don't use your hands. So rugby, football. Every day you go to play a game, you go to the tree, see the rules. So you have to figure out and play it and to know this. That is where the movie goes to a story. The story goes to a point where they're meeting in London, where they have to make the rules solid. I mean, to this day, that pitch there's a range of pitch size for football, 90 to 150. Oh, it's almost crazy. Yeah. So yeah, the world got divided whether or not the game football should be played with.
And when you say football, you mean
Don't say any other crazy, stupid saying like soccer or football. Look at that, way ahead of the curve on that.
you saw that one coming?
Yeah, football. No, I have a prediction that the U.S. will do quite well in tracking it, but it'll do quite well in this next years.
See?
Yeah, take that.
All right, we're gonna start you down and see how that turns out. I'm gonna play this clip of you whenever they get beat, like in the first one.
Oh yeah, we should do our own like a let's do you do a commentary with me the game.
Sure.
So a little fun.
Oh yeah,
Let's
I'd be super down for that.
yeah. That's a little ways out, but that'll give it that'll be some good times.
All right. So all that being said, I've said it before, and we've talked a lot about a bunch of different stuff. But I say the tinfoil hat thing, you know, half serious, half whatever. But I really do like some of the theories. So for me personally, just so everybody knows, I'm on my journey with finding God. You know, um, and I'm not saying this is for everybody, and I don't mean to say this in a division way, but I think part of my journey with God is about being truthful. And I'm a fucked up individual, and I say that in the same breath because Jesus and God, however you want to say it, they know who I am.
It was sin. It all sin.
Yeah, we are who we are, and I think it would be blasphemous for me to try to act a certain way because that's not who I am. I think Jesus understands who I am. Sorry about that. Phone died because I've got two phones unlike Wes. So, anyways, what I was saying is
I didn't tell anybody when I lost the person.
Right. But what I'm saying at the end of the day is I'm on my journey, but I think for me, I want to be a better person, kind of like you. And part of that journey is still crazy shit. You know,
I want to be better too. Yes.
I'm one of those people that want to hear the wild stories. I want to know more. I don't think we have all the answers. I think some of the tinfoil hat shit is true.
Oh, right.
You know,
Disclosure. That's the word. I had to say it. Sorry.
yeah. So I think there's. And I could be wrong. I think there's people behind the scenes pulling strings. I think we haven't been told all the alien shit. You know, I've got a bunch of views on a bunch of topics, and not all of them are correct. Wait, what? That line.
Your views can.
There we go.
Why does a view need to be correct?
No, and that's what I'm saying.
I mean, PC politically correct.
I don't give a shit about that. I just mean like factually correct. You know.
Oh, right.
And part of that
to be accurate
is not knowing.
Integrity.
And you were ex-military, and like GI Joe, if knowing is half the battle, is not knowing the other.
Yeah. So then you're always fighting and losing, depending on if you know or don't know.
Why did GI Joe fight with red and blue lights?
Oh, that's like Star Wars with the lightsabers.
Oh, you think?
Yeah,
You think that's a
good,
red,
good guy in bad guy colors.
red's bad, blue?
I'm not sure. You said blue is new.
Did Cobra have blue? Because they were Cobra? Wasn't Cobra Commander
I think
blue?
they were red. Cobra Commander himself was blue with a mirror face. This is a childhood cartoon from the 80s. Just
Sorry.
so everybody knows.
Yeah,
And we're from the 80s, children, I guess.
yeah. Generation X.
What did you think of the movies? They did movies recently.
First time. I mean, I took them at face value. I didn't think they deserved an Oscar, but I wasn't looking for an Oscar for them. I like movies that are fun.
You just said Oscar twice, and one of them was not good for it.
I don't need that. I
Okay.
like fun movies.
Okay.
I like 51st Dates. It never got anything, I don't think.
51st Dates?
Yeah, without a
Oh,
family.
yeah. No, that's a good thing. There's also a 51st State.
Denial?
No, it was a
State of Denial?
British comedy. Think about drug smuggling. Samuel L. Jackson. Don't quote me.
But what are some of the squirrely things? What are some of the squirrely things that are out there that you think are possible? For me, I mean, I I'm I'm more leaning toward the simulation thing. You know, some of the smarter people alive said we're in a 50-50. It could be, it could not be. And that does, and going back to what I was saying earlier, that doesn't take away from my belief in God. It really
I think
does.
that's a unique perspective. I don't think the masses have that same perspective.
But
I share that unique perspective with you.
if you were just strictly religious and that's it, wouldn't it still be God's?
I mean, I don't know why you use the word simulation, even though I am familiar with it. I do believe in the theory, but if it's just God, we wouldn't say simulation.
Yeah.
Personal opinion.
Yeah. And if you think differently, I don't really give a shit. Just have your own opinions, have your own basis. I'm not mad at you. I'm not going to degrade you. Having a difference of opinion is more fun than sitting in a echo thing.
So how do we advance humanity?
You can't get anywhere by thinking the same. Because if everybody thought the same, it's fucking boring. Dude. You're not going to be introduced to anything new because everybody thinks the same. That's boring. Fucking boring.
Are you making it fun? Is the second podcast you're about to start?
No. I'm trying to get the first one off the ground.
It's boring. It's boring. Everybody thinks the same. It's boring. Pretty much. Yeah, I have to be candid at certain times. This is one. It was my first time being in a detained in such a way. So that's uh, not this missing.
Oh, okay.
And if you are the guy that normally has to move around 30 jets, and you have 300 people to move around 30 jets, and use a little magnet board, well, all the names and numbers, that's your normal. If you're that guy that in the military training, you're going to do that.
It would have been tough.
It was me too. So then when you go away, all you get to do is that. You could see a lot of different things.
Like go into a little bit more detail with the community.
They used to have two guys to work every one plane.
Okay.
So you had 12 planes,
24 people. Fire watch and
yeah. And everybody knew they were going to fly three, and three.
Yeah.
I'm not surging or everybody knew what the flying schedule was. Everybody knew if you were on the schedule or not on the schedule. But that's just a day of work, right? Yeah. They're going to be on you. It's okay. It's gonna. Oh, there we go. You're allergic?
no. I don't like it too. I'm not a fan of that.
Good. Well, you would have probably had an EpiPen. We would have already prior discussed how to use EpiPen.
Look like a little boy.
Safety first.
With Martin Short swole up on that one movie.
I think that was But that was a narrative thing. It wasn't like live act. It didn't happen. Let's just take a second. Did we talk about your hair? Did you show? Just do a little panoramic or whatever. Yeah. We got the Predator live in Harlem.
Yeah, and I got my hair did up in Harlem. Shout out to Queen. I want to pronounce it correctly. Maman, Queen Maman, and I'll post a little picture of the card right here.
I don't know if you did that.
I don't know if I pronounced it right. If I did pronounce it right, I'm sorry. This is a great place, good atmosphere, right in Harlem, and it goes back to your perception of things is different than when you actually experience it. Don't go by everything that you see on social media, on the news, on this, on that. Go out and fucking live life.
You know, how do you do an antisocial social? Really, I'm like trying to have creative juices here because I feel like if there'll be, no other. It's like I. Did you say born again before? No, I didn't. But you've heard of the phrase. Yeah. So yeah, it felt somewhat born again. It's crazy. Thank you.
But like out of all the crazy theories and stuff that are out there, what's some of the ones that kind of stick out in your mind? Like, ooh, that one might have legs.
I'm into post-labor economics. Autonomous taxis will. This is subject to the answer here about
Right.
autonomous taxis.
So say autonomous taxis take over.
Taxis.
Okay, so now what's going to happen when that happens is you won't necessarily need your car because it will actually be cheaper to get around by using that service.
Autonomous air.
And if that happens, if it's autonomous, then your rate of crashes would probably drastically reduce because it would have to be on a network. They would know positioning and everything else.
Yeah.
So at that magnitude, you would have an AI or whatever it would be.
It's like the Jetsons.
Yeah,
Like the Jetsons, but now.
right. But if that happened now, you don't have car crashes. But you also don't have as many vehicles on the road necessarily. And you have less fuel consumption. And you have less oil consumption. How does that affect the entire picture? It's one thing, but it has a cascading effect that starts to affect everything. It's kind of like whenever Rockefeller shut down Nikola Tesla when he was going to try to give free electricity to the world.
Say for all eternity, we were on free electricity, but only 200 years we were on gas combustion.
Right. Well, it's one of those things when people say, "Oh, electric cars are new." A lot of people don't realize that most of the cars originally, and I could be wrong about this, but what is that?
But it's a very
Yeah, we're out in the world, but what I was saying was most of the original
It's on
first
location.
cars were electric, right? Am I wrong about that?
most of the what?
Most of the original first vehicles were electric cars.
I have heard that.
Double check me, I could be wrong, but even that, I mean,
I
even
do love how we had electric cars when we were children, and it's taken so long to get electric cars. Like, how do we get the toy first?
because you can't put double A in a fucking Tesla.
You can, but not what you're saying.
Dude, can you imagine fucking loads being underneath the Tesla like 4,068?
Yeah. Putting them all in single. That's
got
got
that ribbon that goes
That's been
across.
done already. That's been done. That's like a slapstick comedy thing, which I love. I'm a sucker for slapstick comedy. I feel like there's a resurgence.
That's been done. That visual has been
I feel
done.
like it.
Or maybe because it's
too
so
good.
It's too good. Why hasn't somebody
Maybe there was the reverse of it, like one of the Spaceballs or the.
double check that?
Family
Put it in
Guy.
the comments if you've ever seen a video like that. I'd really enjoy seeing it.
I think in the comedic Star Wars ones, there's like the stormtrooper with the single cell battery, one big battery.
Yes. I do remember that might have been Spaceballs or something.
Yeah.
Which you were saying earlier. That all being said, this has been an amazing start of an experience for me. The podcast with you is obviously super fun. Again, thank you, Wes, for having me out here in New York. I really appreciate you bringing me out. This has been an experience for me. This is a new podcast. I appreciate the faith you had in me coming to give you a good interview and making it fun. You know, it's different. We're friends, but we're also, I'm still a budding thing, budding shit with me, buddy. You say that, but anything is a partnership, right? But this is a cool experience for me. This is new to me, and I'm really excited about everything. But your story of the survivors, where's Waldo, to the guy who really wasn't missing but was missing, that had T-shirts, it was really just at school. And I know it lands as poor taste, but I just I feel like Ferris Bueller, and that T-shirt is like I got to give enough for Christmas, man. Dude, you gotta give enough for Christmas. Fucking better, better than most. And if we can, I try to set it up. Help with set it up. We'll get some of the T-shirts made. All those who wander are not lost, or all those who lose their phone are not lost. Yeah. Maybe that's what we should do. All that lose their phone are not lost. So that's pretty much it. All who lose technology. I don't know. We'll play around with it. But well, yes. Now that you're not dead, I mean, that it hadn't happened. But not being dead is probably the most positive thing to come out of this story. Yeah. So, in this podcast, followed by this one. Yes. Again, Wes, thank you so much. We'll probably shoot another part of it. And see, Wes got me this T-shirt last night over there in East Harlem. Thank y'all again for coming out and watching No Quiet Parts. I'm Diggy. This is Wes. Go out there and live big shit. All right. Take care. Thank you. Deuces, y'all.